The proposed fiscal year 2025 through 2026 annual budget.
Mr. City Manager, is there a presentation?
There is, Mr. Mayor. Keona will be giving it, but I would like to say a few words, as is the city manager's words about the budget. Good afternoon, Mayor and members of the City Council. The city's fiscal year 2025 and 2026 budget reflects our continued commitment to fiscal responsibility, efficient service delivery, and strategic investment in the community. It provides resources necessary to maintain high-quality services while positioning the city for future growth and stability. I want to sincerely thank our budget staff and their hard work and dedication throughout this process, as well as our department heads for their input and cooperation in shaping a balanced and thoughtful financial plan. This year's budget also emphasizes accountability through the use of key performance indicators, which is our first year of doing this. And it allows for measures that help track service requests, submittals, and delivery times, police recruitment, youth sports participation, and financial health, ensuring that we not only allocate resources wisely, but also measure how effectively they are being used to achieve our goals. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Buchanan.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members, members of the public. So yes, I am here to present the fiscal year 25-26 consolidated annual budget, our operating and our capital improvement budget. This is a presentation overview, not a detail of information, which is provided in the budget document along with the budget message to provide you with a full outline of the city's budget plan. So our first slide here is a citywide budget, our citywide budget overview, actually. The citywide budget is comprised of the following fund types as presented here. The projected revenues include an estimated carryover balance in the amount of $11.1 million, totaling $430.2 million. The projected expenditures are estimated to be $454 million. Most of these funds are supported by fund balance carryovers, which are not presented here. That information is outlined in our actual budget book. It provides all the fund balances for our fund types, which support our expenditures in addition with the revenues.
Ms. Buchanan, I want to make it clear there are those that have attempted to portray this expenditure projection as a deficit, and the reality is that there are carryovers from each of these special funds that zero out that, and the estimated carryover for next year for the general fund is $11 million. Is that right?
That is correct.
Right.
And specifically speaking for our special revenue funds and proprietary, they are definitely supported by fund balances.
All right, thank you very much.
So, as you can also see here, the general fund is over 50% of the share of the total citywide budget, which is the focus for the presentation. So the next slide is our emphasis here for the general fund summary. Our general fund revenues are $248,988,988. I'm sorry, I could barely see that. $988. Our expenditures are $246,608,789. Our projected year-end operating balance estimated is approximately $2.3 million. This year, estimated revenues and expenditures is projecting a fund balance of 2.3, and as noted, the revenues include an estimated carryover balance of 11.1 from our current fiscal year. The unassigned general fund reserves are approximately 170 million plus, which is supported by general fund balance savings, bond proceeds, revenues from one-times and developments. We also present here our standard and our S&P rating is AA minus, which speaks to our city's credit worthiness. Okay. Our general fund revenues. These are by main category. The general fund revenues consist of various revenue types. For fiscal year 26, general fund revenues again are $248.9 million, which is $24.6 million, or 11% more than fiscal year 25. And normalized revenues are 6%. The main revenue categories are mostly supported by the top 5 revenue taxes, as well as all other revenues, consisting of, but not limited to, parking and franchise taxes, investment earnings, departmental fees for services, and reimbursement for event day services, totaling $47.4 million. So of our top 5 main revenues, as well as our other revenue category, is what highly supports our general fund at this time. With that, we'll go right into the top 5 main general fund revenues. The top 5 main general fund revenues collectively have increased from $102.8 million to $149.4 million, or 45% collectively over the last 5 years. The fiscal year 25-26 budget anticipates an increase of $9.9 million, or 7.1% compared to the prior year, largely from motor vehicle in lieu, property, which is one that is very steady, and our admissions tax. That brings us to our main contributors. So the major contributors to the general fund's revenue growth this year, which makes up roughly our 6% normalized increase, are motor vehicle in lieu, admissions tax, property tax, utility users taxes, and other taxes and revenues. These are all listed in order of increase. So first being our motor vehicle in lieu taxes are estimated to be $26.9 million, which is approximately $4.4 million, or 20% higher than the current adopted budget. Increases are attributed to the estimated growth from transfers, true-ups, and assessed real value. Our admissions tax revenues are projected to be $21.7 million. That's an increase of $2.5 million, or 13%. The budgeted increase is based on the actual trend and change in the consumer price index over the last 3 years. Property taxes are estimated to be $54.8 million this year, which is approximately 1.8 or 3.5% higher than last fiscal year, or current. The increase is attributed to the City of Inglewood's experience in our net taxable value increase of 2.92% citywide and 3.55% in our general fund areas. I'd like to also note that our net taxable value for fiscal year 26 for all assessed properties is estimated to be $20 billion compared to fiscal year 25, our current value of 19.4. That's an increase of 2.92%. Utility users taxes are projected to be $19.7 million, which is $1.1 million, or 5.9% higher than the current fiscal year. This increase is also attributed to the increases in electric, and it's slightly offset by our gas, electric being all the new development within the city. Other revenues anticipated to perform well include parking and business taxes, investment earnings, fees for services, and sports venue reimbursement service fees. Collectively, that makes up an additional $2.9 million, or 6.5% in increased revenue growth. This slide provides the general fund by appropriation. The general fund expenditures by appropriation and the percent of the budget. So for fiscal year 26, general fund expenditures are $246.6 million. And as you can see, personnel services makes up over 62% of the general fund budget, and operations is 36.1%. Most of the general fund expenses are comprised of personnel services, which in this case is also the most major contributing factor to the city's increase from prior to current fiscal year. The general fund salary and benefit costs are $155.1 million. That's an increase of $26.4 million over the prior year. The city's negotiated agreements with our sworn and civilian personnel, in addition to some staff augmentation, increased personnel costs for fiscal year 26 by $26.4 million. Other factors included in this increase also include health care and pension benefits. Okay. In relation to our organizational changes and related personnel staffing, we have here our organizational summary of staff changes, which contained in this chart is recommended for next year's budget. It reflects a net increase of 13 full-time employees, or a net of what we consider less than 2%, from 737 full-time to 750. There was also an increase in full-time equivalent net of 0.50. Our capital improvement projects. This year, the city is recommending a capital improvement project budget of $44.8 million. These projects include a broad range of parks, roads, alleys, traffic control systems, sewer and water system improvements, sidewalks, and other upgrades. You can find a detailed description of each of these projects it's located in the back of the budget book. It gives a funding source as well as the description of the project detail. Looking forward, the City of Inglewood is proud to present the renovation of the Inglewood Main Library, which will also be a new innovative learning center, along with the continuation of our general plan update, which is ongoing. We'll have new affordable housing projects which are already in progress, 2 major hotels, one being the Aria Hotel, and several major capital improvement projects related to pavement resurfacing, parks and water well improvements that are ongoing and continuing, new landscaping medians, upgrade of traffic signals, and energy efficient retrofits. And that concludes the presentation. Thank you. Yes.
One quick question, Kiona. I'm going back to the carryovers that are not articulated for IT, special revenue, proprietary funds, and debt service funds. People would ask, why aren't those shown on the budget overview? And I'm hoping that you'll be able to.
Are you speaking
I'm hoping that you'll be able to articulate why the carryovers for IT, special revenues, proprietary funds, and debt service funds carryovers are not articulated so that it doesn't look like we're going into a negative position for the next fiscal year.
Well, in light of this being an overview, the information relative to all fund balances for these fund types are indicated in the actual budget book and detailed.
I get it. But was there some reason we didn't put that in this summary right here?
Is there a reason we wouldn't? Oh, yeah, because we normally don't.
Okay, I think we normally need to.
Don't, but.
Okay, I hear you, but we normally need to from now on.
Don't.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any other questions from the council?
Not a question, a comment. Good, Bill?
Good.
So, by the way, very, very well done. You bring up a good point in that this is just a recap, kind of an overview of getting into the budget. And so you know, we all have our budget books that are this thick, and we've all gone through them. We've all had our meetings with staff to go over it. And as we always remind folks, our budget is something that's a work in progress. And that's why we do mid-year reviews and budget adjustments and stuff like that, because things change. And even when you look at our capital improvement projects that are in there and that are captured, right? This is stuff that we're already looking at trying to get done. So this is a truly a work in progress. And so thank you for capturing as much as you have. You want to make a comment?
Yes, I do. Also, in relation to your question, Mayor, the reason why it's not provided here is because of the detail that it would require. So this is a kind of a summary. So for example, our special revenue funds consist of about, this is just a number I'm gonna throw out, about 15 funds, give or take.
Yes.
In some respects. So it would be much more detailed because we would have to itemize each and every one unless we collectively group them, which we don't when it comes to their fund balances, they're individual. So there's several funds within the special revenue, and there's several proprietary funds within. Like parking, proprietary consists of parking, water, sewer, sanitation. So instead of itemizing each individual one, for the summary, we don't provide those fund balances, but they are indicated in the budget.
That's what I wanted to
for your
make
view.
clear to the public.
Yes,
Because
yes,
if you look
yes.
at this document, it appears that there's a fund balance deficit, and that's not true. And I want to make that very
Mr. Mayor, you're
That is
exactly
not
right.
true.
It is not true. I can tell you right now, the Measure IT, for instance, has a positive fund balance of 7.3 million.
All right. All right.
Not shown.
So thank you very much. That's what I wanted articulated without me saying it.
And if
All
I
right.
could just finish real quick. Again, this is just and it even says it on here, city budget overview.
Yes.
Right? We're not in the weeds of this. We're trying to give everybody a shot of where we're at with our budget, you know, and that's why the books are available for people to come out and look at them and review them. And we encourage folks, if you want to do that. There's copies of this out here for folks to grab and to take with them and to look at. And we're always available if anybody, whether you're watching at home or here, to reach out and ask us and contact us so we can discuss this in more length.
All right.
So that's it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're going to take Councilman Morales first and then Councilwoman Gray second.
Thank you.
So me, I just have some comments like Councilman Padilla. Look, in reality, our perspective, right? Like I have so many years to compare this to. This is one of the better budgets I've seen. You know, there are things that you know, at face value, if you take it, of course, it looks like, you know, we're spending more than we're bringing in. But the truth is there are things we know, right? We know we don't always spend everything, that things get carried over. We know we don't hire everyone. We don't have time. We know that the capital improvement budgets, we usually don't make it to cover everything, right? So those are things that we understand when we're running a city. What we have today, though, that we haven't had for years, maybe the last couple of years, we've had a future is what we have. And when we look at the what's coming, I believe there was a sheet here that showed what was coming. Right. We have major hotels. We have a variety of events. I forget where it showed up here somewhere. Last page. Thank you, Kiona. Everybody talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
At the bottom. At the bottom.
And then, well, whatever it was there. And I'll tell you that the key to it is that it's not much different to, you know, your budget at home, where if you know what's coming and you plan for it, that's what it is. It's responsible planning. Now, in every city, personnel is the highest cost. We just, you know, included, now, if I heard you correctly, you included the raises.
Yes, for sworn and civilian.
Yeah, and so that's an amazing number. That's a humongous number that you included here moving forward, and yet we're still in a place where we're in a very good place. And I can tell you that because of our budget, we were able to really make successful negotiations. We're able to plan ahead for more streets and sidewalks than we have before. Our tree service is grown tremendously. So those are all quality of life issues which we're literally planning for to spend. I mean, those are the signs that you see in a city. Our parks, are we gonna make improvements to our parks? That's extra. That's a good thing. Are our libraries able to open up at the level that we always used to? Most cities our size, they have LA County libraries. We were able to hold on, and now we're making a humongous improvement. Those are things that, you know, when you are at home, that's like the cable. That's like the delivered water. Those are the extras when you start really functioning to that degree. I point that out because, yes, you know, our numbers look the way they look, but there's no way that this city in the past 25 years has had this kind of increase in quality of life improvements. And I'm very proud of that. Credit to our staff, of course, Mr. Atwell and everybody who came before him. Keono did an amazing job. That's, you know, where we are. So I just wanted to give some perspective from where I'm sitting. So that's it. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Councilwoman Gray?
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for the presentation, and I think my colleagues have already indicated it is a planning document. It is a summary. Budget is a living document. It changes, but Councilman Padilla and Morales really referred to the fact that I think what's important is people want to know, what do we do with the money? You know, what happens with the money? And that very last sheet that Councilman Morales was trying to find, it says looking forward, right, in capital improvement projects. Those are the things I think people really want to hear about, right? What are we doing with the funds? It's important that we, you know, it was said that this is the best financial position the city has been in a long time, which is true. I believe that. But again, you know, my constituents want to know where are the projects that we're going to do, the streets, the roads, or whatever. And when you look at the looking forward document, it talks about renovation of our library and some other things. Those are the things that are really important that people, I think, really want to hear. And so it's great that we're in a good shape financially, and it means a lot to everyone on this dais and staff, and thank you to staff. But again, those are the quality of life issues I think people are interested in, the projects and programs. So thank you for the presentation.
All right. Okay, and to close, Councilwoman Falk.
Thank you, Mayor. So first of all, I'd like to thank you so much for the good presentation. And I feel like every time you present, you synthesize the information and it just gets clearer and clearer. And it's just like so easy, not just for everyone on the dais to understand, but then also for our residents to understand. And we appreciate that you understand and you're able to present it so well. So thank you for that. And then also, pretty much like everyone else, all of my colleagues here on the dais has said that it is so wonderful that we are able to include in our budget improvements like capital improvement projects. And I know that I have some going in District 4 and I'm really happy about that. And, you know, improving the library, major hotels and those type of things. It shows the growth of a city. And like the mayor, I know he likes to point out a lot when he came on board that the city was getting ready to go into foreclosure receivership. And so to go from that, which would indicate a very different looking budget, to this is just amazing. And so it shows significant growth, and it shows that we are definitely on the right road. And I'm just so happy for our city. I'm happy for our residents, and I'm just thankful that we are able to grow and progress. And I look forward to seeing how far we go, because we just have progressed by leaps and bounds. So thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. Appreciate it. And I'm so excited to see how far our city has come. So thank you.
And to piggyback on what everybody said, Ms. Buchanan, in 2011, our general fund budget was somewhere in the 85 to $88 million range, okay? It's now at 246, okay? It's a tremendous, tremendous explosion. And that's why it is so important to me that, because there are those that would try and attack us as trying to obfuscate, and that's why I want to make it clear that this carryover number is not complete, and that our estimated fund balance at the end of the next fiscal year is over $2 million, and that's with the raises that I think Councilman Morales talked about. That's an amazing accomplishment for a city of this size. And so I really hammered on this because I want to make it clear this carryover number is not complete. But the estimated carryover at the end of next fiscal is over $2 million. All right, thank you very much. With that, we'll close the item.